Hi, I'm Maurice Abag. We're going to show you a step-by-step basic Model 130 oven installation. It's going to be very similar to this particular oven right here. We're going to cover from the beginning, from the base, all the way to the shell around the oven. Today it's going to be just a basic square base installation of the oven. Okay, right now Ken is doing the floor layout. It's very important to get our floor layout, all the measurements first. We got to be sure we got enough floor space and also ceiling height. The base of the oven is 72 inches in depth and 80 inches in width. They got the check mark over here. We got to be sure we need 2-inch clearance between the oven and a combustible wall. Combustible wall means anything is made out of combustible material like 2x4, covered with drywall, that's considered a combustible wall. We're keeping 2 inches away. We need a 2-inch air clearance. Those are for fire codes. If this wall was complete concrete, solid 8-inch cement blocks, we could go right against the wall because it's not combustible. But this is a particular wall is a combustible wall. We're going to need 2-inch air clearance. And you see right here, 2 inches away from the wall, the cement block is going to come right at this mark, the chalk mark here. Now we're going the other way to put the perfect square before we start to lay our cement blocks. This is a basic layout. This is the front of the oven. We have 80 inches from here to here, and 72 inches from the front here to the back of the oven. This might look like to you that's kind of over-designed with 8-inch cement blocks and this cross in the middle, but that's done intentionally because this oven is very heavy and we want the base of the oven to be very well supported. This is going to support all the way to the oven. So don't be afraid, it's only a few extra center blocks, it'll be perfect. If you want to change the design, naturally it's up to you, but this is a basic installation. Now we're going to drill a hole on this floor to check the height, the thickness of our floor, because the slab is very important. We got to have at least 6 inches of a slab. For example, in California, because of earthquake codes, if you don't have 6 inches or more, we have to cut the slab and pour a new footing, 8 to 12 inches with rebars, because here in California, we're very strict about earthquake. We don't want the unit to sag or have the floor just give under a big shake and the whole floor crack, because you got quite a bit of weight sitting in just the floor space here. So right now we're going to drill a hole to check the depth in our slab. Uh, 8 inches. This particular slab is about 7.5 inches thick, which is perfect. This will hold any oven, anytime, no problem. Now we know our floor is going to support the weight, no problem, 7.5 inches. It's strong enough to support the weight. Now we're going to continue and start to lay our 8-inch cement blocks. On a vertical rebars, 16 inches on center, we're drilling the holes into the slab. Those rebars, they're the vertical rebars supporting the 8-inch cement blocks. They're 16 inches on center. Now those rebars going to be sitting with pour rock right down the line, and afterwards we go ahead and start to lay our 8-inch cement blocks. All vertical rebars are anchored to the slab with pour rock. All the vertical ones, we go down the line and anchor those right to the slab, so there's no movement at all. Once this is set, we go ahead and I'll lay our 8-inch cement block, the first course. This is the first course of our 8-inch block. We're going to have 5 courses 8-inch blocks. And this is the rebar, the first set of rebars going right from the ground up. And now we're going to start to put our 5 courses as we go. This is the easy way to build our 8-inch cement block header. All we need is a 3-inch 6 feet long, angle iron, back to back. We cut out 8-inch cement block with the notch, and Ken will go ahead and assemble the whole bridge in front. That's it. All our cells are grouted completely. All the cells and all cement blocks are grouted. Now we place our 2 plates. You notice we're going to need 2 plates for this installation. They're 70 inches by 30 inches, 2 of them, 1/8 of an inch thick. They're regular cold rolled steel. That's a requirement we have to stop the grease from leaking through the tile, just in case, just a safety precaution. And this will work the bottom of our 3-inch slab of concrete. We got our rebars, everything is in place. The next step is going to be, we're going to put our fiberglass insulation. You'll see just any kind of R11, R15 insulation. We're going to put the insulation over the steel plates and pour the 3 inches of concrete over it. Okay. We have our fiberglass insulation on our metal plate. We put the metal plate on first. There's 2 pieces, like we showed before. This insulation is just plain R11 fiberglass insulation. This particular one came with the paper backing, so we took the paper backing off because it's going to get very hot and we don't want anything to smoke. We just go right over the metal plate. That's about 24 feet long. We could cut the sections, cover the whole plate off. We want the plate to be covered about 2 inches all around the perimeter with our fiberglass insulation. The reason we're putting this on, we want a gasket between the metal plate and the 3 inches of concrete. The metal plate is going to expand a lot faster than concrete when it gets hot. And we want the metal plate to be able to move without warping. We'll put this on, we'll bend our rebars right over it, pour our 3 inches of concrete, let it dry up. Naturally, we're going to have our shelf in front. We're going to mark our height for our 3 inches of concrete. Then we'll let it dry and proceed with our floor tiles. We build a 8-inch form for our concrete shelf. It's just 2x1/2-inch plywood, 2x4s underneath, a couple of 2x4 support. Naturally, all this is going to come out after our concrete shelf is dried and set. We got our rebars. You notice it's quite a bit of rebar, but it's very important. The rebars don't cost a lot, but we want to have enough rebar to make everything very rigid and solid. Another thing you notice, we have a shim, 1/2-inch plywood shim. This plywood will come with the oven, that oil. The reason that oil, we don't want the moisture to swallow. And this is going to go on the side before we pour our 3-inch of concrete slab, 3 or 4-inch concrete slab. After the concrete is set, it's very important to remove all these shims. All this plywood got to be removed. And later on, when we pour the vermiculite will come over here between the expansion joint and our 4-inch concrete block. We're scribing the height of our 4-inch concrete bed all right along our plywood shim. This will guide us to pour our 4 inches of concrete.
We'll get another one, right?
You don't want to do my phone out of that? No. I think to make this perfect.
Just keep the surface. Keep the surface on. Don't dig, don't dig, don't dig. Don't dig.
I don't dig.
Is it running? Okay, can we get some more of that? More action? Action.
Yeah. We're removing our half-inch spacers of plywood. We recommend moving these plywood, the spacers out about 2 hours after we pour our 4 inches of concrete base. After the space is removed, you'll notice we're going to have a half-inch gap between our 4 inches of concrete slab and our 4-inch cement block. That eventually is going to be, the void is going to be filled with vermiculite. We want the cement slab to be able to expand without pushing the 4-inch concrete blocks outwards.
Okay, Maurice, anytime.
The oven comes in one complete crate. All the pieces needed for the oven. Like you noticed, trunk plate, the door, the floor tiles, the oven body, the special cement, the metal shims that we're going to see later on, goes on the side of the oven, installation instructions, the special refractory cement, even a fire starter, and a pizza peel. The cement blocks, the sand, the concrete, all that got to be rebars, got to be supplied by the contractor. We always advise when we receive a crate, either at the job site or at the terminal, before you accept the crate, you should open the lid and get a quick visual inspection, make sure there's no major pieces broken. If anything is broken, got to be reported to the trucking company right away. We're laying our floor tiles. We got 36 tiles altogether. 30 12 by 12 and 6 by 12. This is our lean cement. Lean cement is 9 parts sand, 1 part cement. We lay them about an inch thick. The tiles, we put the tiles, always choose the best tiles, best looking tiles up in front and the center of the oven where all the service is going to be. Anything with little chips, not too even, we can use those on the sides because all they're doing is supporting the oven. They got to be no grout between the tiles, just one next to the other and perfectly level. The reason we want lean cement, 9 parts sand again, 1 part cement. These tiles, when they get hot, they want to move. If you put them on thin set, they'll eventually crack.
4 or 5.
You notice we have 5 12-inch tiles and 1 half tile, which is 6 inches. This is the center of our concrete slab. We're going to use the center of our floor, which will bring it right here. You just start with 3 inches on a 12 by 12 tile. Just line it up. You go that way and to the right, and you'll end up centering the slab here itself. The slab is 65 inches right here, and we got 32 and a half inches right in the middle.